Okay. Good morning, Bulldog people. Grab your coffee. Feed your dogs. Join us live. Y'all. Grab your coffee. Feed your dogs. Welcome back to another episode of Brew N Bulldogs. I'm your host, Calypso. This is the show where we talk about bulldog history, breeding, conditioning, health, and the dogs that help shape the American Pit Bull Terrier. Whether you're watching from the yard, on your way to feed your dogs, or just relaxing with your morning coffee, thank you for being here, y'all. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe, and jump into the live chat. Brew N Bulldogs. It's about learning from one another while preserving the history of this great breed. Now let's get started. Hey, y'all. What's up? Brew N Bulldogs. Yeah. Who's all down in the chat? Melee. What up, brother? Water boy. What's it say down here real quick? Look at Snooty as a whole. He was a better producer than dog himself to me. What would you rather have, a dog that can play a role in making you champions and a good dog, or just a good dog himself? That's a good one. That's a good one, Waterboy. Waterboy. Okay. That doesn't produce. Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, you know what I'm saying? What you guys drinking? What you guys got in your cup? You guys got some coffee with you? You know me, I got to get a little something in my coffee right here, and we get this show started. Put a little bit more than a little bit, huh? So what's up, guys? You guys got something in your cup? What you drinking? Energy drink, coffee, orange juice, a little Tanqueray in it. Whatever, you know what I mean? Maybe having some beers. 9 a.m. where I'm at. Yep. What? We got the musician in the house, Waterboy in the house, Melee in the house. I know there's some other people out there viewing. Yeah, like I said, you got something in your cup. What, you got some water? Hope you guys fed your dogs. We got an interesting show today. I heard somebody talking about Snooty. But this isn't really about my opinion on things today. You know what I mean? We want to, because this isn't a biased show. You know, this is a show where we all share knowledge. We talk about things. You know what I mean? Yeah. As you see, the question of the day is, was Snooty a cur, or did he reach his physical limit? That's the question. Let me go ahead and get a little sip of this coffee. Can you guys hear me out there? I like to know these things. I'm kind of new to this live thing, you know what I mean? So if you guys can hear me, just let me know in the chat, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, good. That's right. There we go. We're getting some of that brew, that good coffee this morning. So where you guys coming from? Where you guys at? Are you guys you know what I'm saying, represent where you from, you know what I'm saying? Represent where you from in the chat, let it be known. You know what I'm saying? We got bulldoggers from the East Coast. the South, the West Coast, up north, wherever you at, you know what I'm saying? Let it be known where you at. What was I thinking about? Anyways, like I said, man, forget I had something I wanted to say, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. Um, but yeah, this has been a debate for a long time. Uh, what you guys think? I mean, I know some people are gonna say certain things when it comes to cur dogs. Uh, is a dog that just actually reached his physical limit, but you know was scratched for hours back in the days. This is all historically speaking. So let's make sure we understand. None of this is to you know to glorify anything. This is history. You know what I'm saying? Like we could be talking about um, the World War III and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be glorifying murdering people and war and savagery or anything. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is this is history. This is truly history. This is American history. So everything that we talked about is for historical, educational purposes. You know what I'm saying? Only. You know what I mean? Like this is 2026. So, you know. Anyways, we're all adults, I think, for the most part. If there's young viewers out there or greenhorns, yes, this is a show for historical purposes only. We talk about the American Pit Bull Terrier. We talk about the truth, the facts. What may be ugly to you is just the truth. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, we got K1 Boker in the chat. That's my son. um, yeah, we got musician here. We got Melee here. We got quite a few people. There's 12 visitors, but I think the question. Anyways, I heard somebody. There was some talk, and there was a lot of writing and all types of stuff. But the question was, I mean, well, they were. I don't know if they. I'm guessing they were referring to Snooty as a cur. Um, is there a difference between a dog that actually quits and a dog that actually just reached his physical limit and just couldn't go no more? Like, just couldn't go. Um, is that the story with Snooty? But let's just kind of get to that. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Chat, go ahead and interact. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think on that. You know what I mean? A dog that may be sick and just couldn't go. Maybe I don't know what the situations are that was his physical limit. You know, just because somebody lost at something, do we always consider them like they didn't have no heart? If the dude went in there, he was a boxer. Let's talk about boxing, and he goes in there and he gives it all he got. He loses the fight, but does that make him a cur? Like, does that make him somebody scared? He went for the challenge. He's in there. You know what I mean? All right, Tony. I feel you. I feel you, man. Tony he said greenhorn here. Calypso in chat. Uh, well, you know what, Tony? You know what I mean? Like we like I said, we are just talking. But Tony, I think you understood the boxing analogy right there. Would you consider a person like he was a scary dude if he put in all his heart and boxed, I don't know, 9, 10 rounds, and he just physically couldn't, I mean, outboxed, he lost, he physically couldn't make it, but would he be considered, you know what I'm saying? So let's talk about those things. Guys, you guys are in the chat and I respect you guys all saying love, but this is what this show is about. I'm not the teacher. I am a dog man like y'all, and I like to interact with you guys, and that's what this show is about. Um, When we do Beer and Bulldogs, it's about interviewing great dog men and learning from them. This one, we all get to come in and we get to say our piece, have different opinions. As I've learned doing the interviews, some guys have different opinions on a lot of things. One thing that we never really have, volume a little low. Okay, brother. Okay, let me see if maybe I should step up to the mic just a tad bit. How you hear me now? Like I said, we some guys during interviews I found that they've had differences about some things, but one thing for sure is I thought they had a category game loser. Okay, game loser. Yeah, Cali Ozark in the place, Tony in the place, Melee in the place, musician in the place, Waterboy in the place, K1 Boker in the place. But like, well, that's what we saying. So he says there's a category. Call him a game loser. Okay. But I've heard over and over and over in this, you know, story that Snooty was a cur. A dog that many have bred off of. Um, I mean, I don't know if you guys know Snooty's story. I believe a 2-1, 2 wins, 1 loss, facing not just any opponent. I'm talking about the opponent. And we're talking about probably a 2-hour match. I believe so. And listen, I wasn't there. That's why I always say I believe so. Also for, you know, certain, you know, reasons, you know, you never want to sound like you know anything for sure because people, you know, be saying, well, obviously, come on. But, um, and what I heard was the dog actually just could not go anymore. I mean, exhausted. So, like, what do you guys think? I'd like to know in the chat. You guys could just put an A, B, or C. Let's just put A if you think Snooty is a cur. B if you think he had just reached his physical limit. Or C if you're just unsure. Let's talk about it, guys. That's something that we should talk about. Go ahead and put that down in the chat. I'll give you guys a few minutes to go ahead and mess around with that. You know what I mean? I got a little something something when I'm having my coffee sometimes, and my wife was sweet enough. That's pretty good. Mm. You guys gonna say something? Give me something, guys. What you guys think? Snooty or cur? Did he reach his physical limit? Or are you just unsure about it? Because you guys make me feel unsure sometimes. When I hear people saying that, and I hear other people say he just reached his physical limit. But one thing we know for sure, great dogs came down that line. I've even spoke of one dog that I tell you guys most of the time, I was like, yo, that's my favorite dog. What's the dog that you would choose? Well, I've told you guys over and over it would be Chinaman, somewhere down that line. Actually, a grandfather, I believe. Chinaman. Let's think about that. You know, so who who is? Let's think about that. Who is Snooty? Who is he? Um, I believe he was bred by Kimsey Woods. Let's talk about that. I believe uh, 2-time winner, 1 loss. I believe What's Tony's answer? Let's look at this. Let's get up in this chat a little bit. Let's talk about some things. So, Big Beer and Bulldogs. What's up, Cali Ozark? Volume a little low. The musician that got me up on that. I thought they had a category game loser. Okay. Well, Cali Ozark, he likes that answer. Um, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But we still haven't really got to that answer. Then let's talk. Let's say this then. Why is there people that have mentioned Snooty's name in the same category with a cur? I mean, Rascal. We're not even talking about just. We're talking about Rascal. This is. Come on, y'all. I mean, there's a list. There's a list, and where did I put that paper? That's the only thing. That's why I'm a little tripping because I keep just a little thing. But um, I know that Grand Champion Spike is on there. I know that Champion Thor is on there. I know that Chinaman is on there. Um, there's a list of great dogs that came down this lineage. You know what I mean? So, and there was a talk on there too about I wanted we even got into this was about breeding curs. Do they think that they can make a champion? Um, has it been done? Yes. Do I personally think that that's like no? This is you listen to how I mean. If so, if you're that person, um, just look at the way you're trying to gamble. So I yeah, that's what I've been waiting for, is some writing, some interaction, guys. So Tony Ozark said, I was told he was some of the last blood from off Daibo. So I see why he was bred. And yes, he's still talked about today. I salute the Snooty line. I salute the Snooty line too, guys. You know what I mean? But I just that's some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Uh, but we do know that Snooty is more known for being a producer than a performer. Do we agree on that? Do we agree on that, guys? A producer more than a performer. Or, I also have heard, listen, I read a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? I wasn't there. But I also heard that Snooty was a game dog. I heard something else. So there's a lot of stories. See these stories, but that's why we have this show. Hopefully one day, guys are jumping on there who may know a little bit more, heard a little bit more, know somebody who knows somebody. Hey, salute, Rabbit Man Kennel. Is in the place to be. What's up, man? Salute. Salute everybody in the chat. I just want to thank you guys for being here today. But like I said, we having our morning Brew N Bulldogs conversation. And it was Snooty a cur, or did he reach his physical limit? We had one guy say, we had, I think we had two guys say, excuse me, I wanted to make sure. Yeah, we had two guys on. Somebody said, one guy, Waterboy, said, at first, I want to bring you back to that. He said, look at Snooty as a whole. He was a better producer than Dog himself to me. What would you rather have? A dog that can play a role in making you champions? Or a good dog, and good dogs, and good dogs? Or just a good dog himself that doesn't produce? There's some thought right there. I really like that that one, Water Boy. Also, Tony said, I thought they had a category game loser. Ozark agreed with it. These, that's why we're having this talk. So I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing from reading this that Snooty was a better producer than performer, but I'm not catching Kerr. I'm not catching that, but I heard, and a whole bunch of people were down on this post talking, saying what they wanted to say. Um, I mean, it was a little different, but it mentioned Snooty as a Kerr. So that's why I wanted to talk about it today. And I would really just like one of those. I would really love one of those straight forward bulldog, man. I don't care what you think. I'm going to tell it to you straight. If you feel he was a cur, or if you feel like, nah, man, he wasn't a cur. If he, I don't know, may had some, uh, maybe you put it on somebody, the handler. I don't know. Whatever it may be, I just want to know, is this story we've heard of this great dog, Snooty, the great producer, was he a cur? And if so, um, let's also go down to the topic of, do you believe breeding curs makes a game dog? I want to make sure that you guys understand that I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to have a good program, I don't believe breeding a cur is something that you want to do. But I mean, something you, and there's a lot of things. Don't think it. I don't start thinking illegal. Some people go out there and they go hog hunting, and there's some dogs. If they ain't about it, man, they will stop. In a sad situation for them, because when that boar hits them, it knocks them up in the air. Sad, 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 sad one. Uh, I don't know what to say about a boar, but a boar is pretty game. Pretty game. I don't know if you, any of you guys had that experience. Do things first before you do the research stuff. You know what I'm saying? Get you one of those nice Garmin collars. Get one of those nice Garmin collars. I and make sure you got one of those boar spears. Don't just get some old regular spear. You need a boar spear. A boar, it'll charge you. It'll run through that spear. It'll go through it. um, but let's. I guess that's what I want to talk about. But I guess we got a few people in here, and as you can see in the chat, nobody is really trying to hit that point. And it's very important that we kind of get this out the way. Listen, I love Snooty. Salute to the Snooty line. I just want to hear it from somebody. Do you guys think Snooty was a cur? Did he reach his physical limit? I mean, 2 hour battle, 2 hour battle with not just anybody. You talking about Rascal? You know what I mean? Like, this is stuff that you know we should talk about, guys. You know. I just wanted to, discuss people's viewpoints respectfully. Respectfully. And what do you guys think about Crenshaw's champion Rascal? You know what I mean? A 2 hour contest. Why do people even still debate this today? I mean, my opinion, from the way it sounded and what I've read, is the dog reached his physical limit. So, why does people even debate that Snooty was a cur? If you guys heard it some other way, let me know. Just let me know if you guys heard it any other way. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Guys, I told you guys I was learning things. Slide your chat down. Let's see. I was told he was some. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Salute, bro. Salute, my guy. How long have you been cooking? On this show? This show, Uncle Buck, I don't know. What's it been? A few weeks? Since about a month. About a month. Or are you talking about right now? 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'd have to do the whatever on different time zones to let you know. Let's keep going. Uncle Buck, salute, my guy. Okay. Cali Ozark, yes, agreed. I'll say physical limits B. Thank you. All right. So, um, Cali Ozark says he doesn't think that Snooty was a cur. He just reached his physical limit. Melee. I've heard stories about Snooty. Didn't remember the details. Did he jump? So I didn't hear that he jumped. Um, Clips on the chat. Salute. Bowling. I love saying that one. What up, J Bo? We got Top Shelf in the house right now. Top Shelf, man. You know what? A lot of people would love to hear your opinion on that, man. From what you heard, man. Uh, and this is historical, educational purposes only. Was Snooty a cur, or did he reach his physical limit? And what do you even think on those ideas right there? Yeah. Game Dog University. Yeah. It is one of those. Uh, it's one of those topics that keep going over. But I just kind of, for this show, sometimes you gotta lock things down on this show. You know what I'm saying? Melee said Snooty was a game dog. Snooty was a game dog and would have kept on scratching if he didn't reach his physical limit. But anyways, I understand. Some people believe Snooty quit. Others believe like he absolutely did everything he can, but simply just couldn't do it. You heard my analogy on boxing. I didn't see him hit the corner. The person didn't hit the corner and say, I quit. But they just totally and the referee said, hey, he can't. Um, Dang. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Hmm. There we go. There we go. There we go. We get into it, guys. We get into that. We get into we get into it. This is what I like to read out here. You guys is reading it. So it says right there. Okay, so it's 12 p.m. East. Yeah, that's right, Cali Ozark. This is not J Bo. Top Shelf. I heard Snooty won 5 and 6 off the chain. Awesome. So you know what I'm saying? It's like it's one of those things. Put some respect on Snooty name. See, it's when we get those, and I've heard this too, but like a lot of times I don't know. You know what I mean? Just like I've heard stories about other dogs. But anyways, you heard it right there. Put some respect on Snooty name. I mean, nobody said that, but this is a word was. I heard Snooty won 5 or 6 off the chain. Also, was he picked up or did he stand on release? 2 hours can be overrated at times. Hard intensity or relaxed 2 hours. Things to think about, because we need to, we call certain dogs curs. And I'm not speaking on any particular person. I'm not even speaking on myself. I'm just saying that sometimes people say curs and call dogs certain things that's like, I don't, you call that dog a cur? So that's why, we're having this. This is the discussion. 2-2, he broke even. That's what our Callie Ozark said. Um, I've heard people say 2-1. Um, hell yeah. Uh, hell yeah, Callie Ozark said. Music. Yep, musicians in the place to be. Tony Boat, Callie. Yep, yep, yep. Make sure you salute the chat. I salute the chat. You know what I'm saying all the time. 2 hours ain't overrated when you walking. That's right. To some men, that ain't overrated. I've heard of 4 hours. It's man, it's crazy what these dogs can do, man. It's really, really crazy what these dogs can do. Um, but yeah, so that was my little poll thing earlier. It was about, if you thought he was a cur, if you thought he reached his physical limit, or you were just unsure. The musician. Thank you, musician. You too. Thank you, thank you. A game dog is not a part time. Is not part time game. And I just want to let you guys know, I respect the J Bows. I respect the musician. I respect all you guys balling, all you guys in your guys' opinion. These are all opinions too. I mean, we can say what is stated, and we got some understanding there. Game. Um, but I just want to make sure that everybody who does have different opinions, that we're having these opinions respectfully. But let's just make sure that everybody understands that a game dog is not a part-time game. A game dog have the wildness to continue no matter what. That's what game is. Hmm. There you heard it. There you heard it. But that is the truth. I think let's go back to Rabbit Man Kennel's question was he picked up or did he stand on release? 2 hours can be overrated at times, hard intensity, or relaxed 2 hours. Um, I like that answer, musician. That's what bowling says. When I do that bowling, I'm trying to do it in like the Jim Jones voice, like that song. But yeah, uh, same bowling. Yeah, people love your answer, musician, because it's real. It's real. I mean, you got some dogs. That's what they call them, dead game, who would have given their life to be out there. I think. Okay, so did you guys get to watch that UFC fight with Gaethje? So, in my opinion, for a good portion of that, Gaethje was getting some hands thrown on him, but it was like he just had that heart to just keep going, and some things like that, some things like that. Um, Even when we were I was doing martial arts. Me and my buddy, we discussed that, and that's something that you can't learn that in your martial arts class. You can't learn that in boxing. It's either in you, like, would you actually go in there and box till you just, I mean, that's something that you can't just learn. There's no teacher that can teach you how to have heart. You know what I mean? You just either have it, and you just have this will to keep going in that sense that nobody can understand. So it goes back to my same question, because we're gonna have some guys who are gonna, and this is respectfully, was Snooty a cur? or did he just reach his physical limit? I've heard both sides of this. It's been a debate for many years, and I think it's probably becoming a broken record. Maybe that's why some of y'all don't even want to talk about it. Stay in there with Tank for 2 hours versus Devin for 2 hours is totally different. Okay. 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 Ah, musician. Morphin's Goras was dead game. Scratch 63 times till he died. Till he died. Calio's like, the seal has been broken. Music 2026. Musician, man. Um, it's always great. It's always great to have the musician on this show. Dickie, what's up, brother? Shout out, y'all. 63 times, Mr. Music. He made you cry on his 62nd. And I that's a pretty rough one. Yeah, and I won't knock anybody or tell anybody what to do, like and this is all historical. We talk. Sometimes we like, you watching the movie, and so for people who are watching and think that no, this is for historical and educational purpose. You know how when you're watching the movie and then you see the dude come in and you're like, man, I would have did this, and I would have pulled my machine gun out and shot up the whole crowd. Listen, I hope you ain't really gonna go or grab a machine gun and go shoot up the whole crowd. You're watching the damn movie. Okay, so let's get that straight. This is for educational purposes, historical purposes, so we're all just talking. For any weirdo out there watching this and want to be like, what a bunch of assholes. But please get off the show, fur mommies. But let's keep it on subject. Yeah. Anyways, yes. Callie Ozark T Wade, how you feel or felt about Snooty? I trust your expertise. What's up, man? T Wade, man. What up, man? Saluting the chat, man. How you feel about it? Okay. That's unmeasurable attributes. Yeah. That I think you might be talking about that dead game dog up there. Yeah. And I don't know how it looked. I was not there. Like I said, these are historical things that happen. Um, some people even will pick a dog up because they know how great their dog is or whatever like that. I don't know, but we talking about things, and that's why we have this. This isn't about me sitting here and being like, let me tell you, one of those guys who are trying to sit here and be like, the American Pit Bull Terrier came from this dog and that dog that came with this man from England back in the 1800s. This is not that show. And this is not that show. This is a show where we all talk, and that's what the whole point of this is. So when you guys don't believe me, I'm sitting here a little like, oh, okay, guys. So what do you guys think? But I'm glad we're getting some talks up in there. Uh, uh, Shout out, Dickie. I just want to make sure we say, shout out to everybody. T Wade, Ozark Atlas Brewer, Carl Mims. Okay, both told me he reached his limit. That Snooty reached his limit. Now, no offense, I believe Carl Mims is going to say that. I don't know Carl Mims, and I would never even want to say anything about his dog, man. Nothing. I have all respect for all dog men, but that was his dog. I mean, come on. I would believe he would say that, especially if he's breeding it. But I this is kind of like from the stories that you've heard and how you've grasped it and how you've kind of envisioned this and and then from that I want to understand whether Snooty was a cur or not. Do people believe that breeding curs, you can get champions from it. And the reason why I say that is not that it's never happened, but should that be something that people like, well, you know what, the dog, he's the brother of this champion, but he was a cur. I figured if, I lost the champion, I'll breed the cur because he got the same bloodline as him and is his brother. So I'm going to breed the cur and I'm going to make a champion. What do you guys think about that shit? I mean, these are, and please, again, I am not advising anybody, and I want to get that clear so you guys hear it from me. I am not advising breeding curs. I feel like it's a waste of time. I'm not that guy who has this huge bunch of acres where I can just be keeping dogs and experimenting to see, hey, if I'll breed the cur and I'll keep them around for, keeping the blood and stuff like that. There's a lot of DNA, studying, you know, DNA, blah, 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 blah. And there's probably something to it. So I'm not just insulting people who are breeding by studying blood and seeing how much percentage and genetics that is going into certain dogs. And, oh, well, this dog has so much of this genetics in him that, even though he's a cur, I believe if I breed him, I'm going to get a champion from that dog. I don't have those resources. Sorry, I don't. So I'm just not into the idea of breeding curs trying to find champions from them. I'm just not. I'm a believer on, and I'm not really a guy, even though I do have certain, that I go for dogs, but I'm not a chasing bloodlines type of guy. You know what I mean? And I spoke on that before. In my younger days, that was very important in my mind. But as you get out here and you start to learn, you kind of realize that a good dog is where you find them, man. And so, anyways, let's get up in here. We talking to Mike Dan. Mike Dan's up in the place to be. I saw your name, man. I saw your name, Mike Dan. Oat man, what up, man? Yeah. We got people up in here. Then again, 1 round against Mike Tyson was a lot different than 10 rounds with Buster Douglas. LOL. I guess it depends on every given day. Hey, I hope nobody's saying that Rascal was Buster Douglas. But I know that's not what's going on here. But Himmy James, what's up? Salute, bro. We just asking that question, and I think you guys see it right there. Question of the day. Himmy, that's right, Mike Dan said. Himmy James, salute, brother. I love it. Tyson fights. That's right. Yep. Salute to the chat. We all up in here. Himmy, Hellcat, you out there, brother? Did I miss you on here? Hellcat. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. No. Okay, my bad. What up? Showtime Kennels, gentlemen. Yes. We all here. That's what we talking about. Anyways, look. I don't know what else to say. I brought it up. We talking about it. So I think it's just best. It's best for Snooty to tell you himself. Why am I talking? Why are we talking? Snooty, he was there. Let him go ahead and tell his story. All right?
Hey there, my name is Wood Snooty, and this is my story. I came into this world carrying some of the finest bulldog blood of my time. According to my recorded pedigree, I was bred by Maurice Carver and later owned by Kimsey Wood. My sire was Hooten's Snake, and my dam was Art's Missy R.O.M. Now, if you've spent much time around bulldog people, you've probably heard another story. Some folks have claimed over the years that I wasn't really off Snake and Missy at all. They believe I was actually out of Tom's Big Black and Tom's Queenie. Is that true? Maybe, maybe not. I can't settle that debate for you. Most of the people who knew are long gone now. But one thing nobody argues about is what I produced. Looking back at my recorded pedigree, people expected me to become something special. My blood carried dogs like C.H. Hooton's Butcher Boy, Marshall's Joe, C.H. Stockton's Big Liz, Carver's One Eye, Carver's Honey Boy, and the legendary G.R.C.H. Trahan's Rascal. On my mother's side, I carried the blood of Carver's Pistol R.O.M., Carver's Miss Spike R.O.M., C.H. Tudor's Spike R.O.M., and the famous Carver's Black Widow. There was greatness behind me. But history isn't written by pedigrees alone. It's written by what comes after. I won my share. Some people said I won on heart more than talent. Others remember the day I lost to Crenshaw's C.H. Rascal and say, that's all they need to know about me. That's all right. Every legend has critics. What people sometimes forget is that a bulldog's story doesn't always end when he leaves the box. Sometimes, that's where it really begins. When my working days were over, I became something even more important, a producer. I sired bulldogs like Garner's G.R.C.H. Spike, Bristol's C.H. Thor R.O.M., Hall's C.H. Sugar, Edward's C.H. Red Lady, C.H. Kiddie, and Hargrove's Spanky R.O.M. Then came another generation. One of my grandsons would become one of the most recognizable names in bulldog history, Garner's C.H. Chinaman R.O.M. Through him, and through many others, my blood spread across yards throughout America and eventually around the world. Generation after generation, my family kept proving itself. That's why, all these years later, people still talk about me. Not because I was perfect, not because I never lost, but because I left something behind that outlived me. There's another little story some of you may not know. When my papers were first sent to the ADBA, my name was supposed to be Snoopy. Somewhere along the way, a typo was made. The papers came back saying Snooty. The name stuck. Funny how one little mistake became one of the most recognized names in bulldog history. Today, people still argue about me. They debate my pedigree. They debate my match with Rascal. They debate my ability. That's fine. Debate is part of bulldog history. But if you really want to judge a bulldog, don't just look at one day. Look at the generations that followed. Because blood tells a story, and my blood is still telling mine. I wasn't remembered because I was perfect. I was remembered because generation after generation, my family kept showing up. And as long as bulldog people study pedigrees, a part of me will always be there. My name is Wood Snooty, and this is my story.
So there you have it. You guys heard it from Wood Snooty himself. Um, that's his story. I think if any of you guys were paying attention when I was first talking about, beer and bulldogs coming back, and I got some more, and was talking about something, and I said, I was like, it's real dog, this is real dog talk. And then I was like, what if dogs could talk? Real dog talk. And it was just a funny thing. And so that's what this is about. Um, so when you hear this, you're hearing the dog's story, and then you're hearing it from the dog's point of view. Um, that's it. And you heard it from Snooty. You heard it from Snooty himself. There's an interesting message that just came in from SBC Kennels. So if a bulldog go into a better dog and make 5 game scratches with broken leg, then quits at an hour and 37 exhausted, it's a cur. See, like I said, these are opinions. We talk about opinions, and we're talking respectfully. Um, and some guys are gonna have some different opinions, and I'm sorry, but there's some dudes who take take this, and I'm not saying anybody doesn't, nothing like that, but they take this, I mean, they ain't picking no dog up. They're not doing. They believe this is not for the weak-hearted. This was real soldier stuff, and this is all historical, educational purposes. And we're just talking about, like I said again, when you hear things that sound like they're in the present tense, it's like watching a movie. Again, I have to say these things during the show so people who jump in. Like when you're watching a movie, right, and you see the guy come in and he's like, "Yo, man, you know what? If I was, man, I would come in with the machine gun, and spray the whole crowd." I don't know if you're that theatrical. I'm just putting extra on it. Um, Again, I hope you're not gonna grab a machine gun and go spray the whole damn crowd. If you say that, we might, some of us might be like, "Yo, what's wrong with you, bro? Get your head checked." But anyways, we talk. We may even set up some fantasy, like fantasy football. We may set up some fantasy matches right here on here because we love the American Pit Bull Terrier. There is no dog better than the American Pit Bull Terrier in the world. Find a dog. Better be a great one of whatever breed, but there's no breed better than the American Pit Bull Terrier. I'm almost willing to bet that. So we love these damn dogs. So what? You love race cars. You love porno. You love, I don't know, but you love something. You better fall in love with something. We fell in love with this breed. And so we like to talk about it. Call us nerds in our own world then, if that's where we are. Huh? Love it. We got people out there. Havoc, what up, man? Beer and Bulldogs. Yeah, but today we are on Brew N Bulldogs, and I'm drinking my coffee. But yo, regardless, man, you heard it from Snooty. Regardless of what you think, guys, whether you think Snooty was a cur or he was not, a pedigree will blind one that cannot see. You are so right, Oatman. Himmy James said, "Oh, like I like Floyd Boudreaux answer about game dogs." Yeah, SBC. That's why I saw gameness is subjective. Mike Dan, yeah. And like I said, these are opinions respectfully. Himmy James said, "Bowling." I'm not really up with the play on bowling as I'm too cheap to pay or pay pay-per-view. The last time was Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., and that hurt expecting to see that old fire. But yes, that can. But you know what, guys? We got Conor McGregor and Max Holloway today. You can go to Paramount Plus. If you got Paramount Plus, or if you got like a subscription to one page and you can get the Paramount Plus for just a few more dollars, if you get it. And let's see what's up. Let's see if Conor McGregor still got it, man. Or is Max Holloway finna put hands, knees, and elbows and feet all over him? We're going to find out today. Yeah, instead, I feel like we were had. Shake my head. Yeah. All right, y'all. But anyways, let's talk about, it's hot outside, guys. What's the weather like? Let's talk about something else. We already talked about Snooty. Was he a cur? Did he reach his physical limit? How people feel about game? What they think. You know what I'm saying? Some people will pick a dog up. Some people will they don't want to lose what they got. They ain't ready for the dead game. They ain't that guy in the story. You know what I'm saying? There's different characters. There's all these dudes around. You know what I mean? There's different characters in this again fantasy, but whatever. It's all for historical and educational purposes. Please, again, do not be harassing anybody. Don't harass me. None of it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, nigga. But anyways, it's hot outside, guys. What's the weather like where you guys is at? It's steaming here, bro. It's steaming here. Listen, man, I lived in Las Vegas for a long time, man. I moved 3 hours up north. I work on wind turbines, and it was just a good career move and just a good life move for me and stuff like that. Um, But I lived in Las Vegas for so many years, man. I'm talking about real uh, swamp draws. I'm talking about sweaty wolf nuts. I'm talking about just hot shirt stuck to your back. You got to do this all day. You know what I mean? There's sometimes you still got to do that, in the northern areas of Nevada. But you know what I mean? Yeah, we we still. I just want to know how's the weather where you guys is at. I've got my eye on heavyweight Moses. Atoma. Wolf nuts. Yeah, sweaty wolf nuts. It was like that living in Vegas. So I was just wondering how the weather is where you guys at. It's pretty hot out there, you know what I mean? And I guess I thought a good topic to would be, how do we keep these dogs cool and hydrated? It's really hot outside. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. You know, like I said, you guys got to also remember too, you know what I'm saying? That, we talk a lot of dog man stuff from the past, but like I like to bring that's what this whole show is about. It's about bringing it to the now, you know what I'm saying? We got to get because hey, Hove did that. So hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that. You know what I mean? It's 2026, baby. So we got young dog men out here, you know what I mean? Whatever they doing, weight pulling, wall climbing, lure chasing, treadmill racing, slap mill racing, um, even tug of war competition, whatever they got going on. And, you know, but they got dogs on the yard. How do they keep these dogs cool and hydrated? Let's talk about it, y'all. I've heard people say they got fans hooked up inside kennels and dog houses. I had a heater up. I had a heater up in my dog house. I had a heater up in the dog house before. That's about a deal, right? I don't know about no damn fan, but some people have that. It's probably maybe super hot. If I was living in Vegas at that, I don't know. Today, I'll probably try to do that. Try to figure some way to do that. I came from humble beginnings, guys. I got it out the mud, guys. I used to be a street gremlin, guys. That's why I'm here today. Let you guys know, you know what I'm saying? We get older, we do things a little different today. We're in a new time. What are your thoughts on nutrition influences? Hmm. Nutrition influences. Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what. If I could probably feed all raw, I probably wouldn't do it because I don't got the time. I might need me when I one day when we're moving up from the humble beginnings, guys. So you know what I mean. One day I may have a chef, and I'll be like, "Look, chef, here, make my dog's food," you know, and I'll put all raw ingredients through the whole thing. Make sure it's weighed on the scale. Um, no, I do add some raw, and I put chicken in there. I think I told you guys, you know what I'm saying? See, you know, we're in this world, we gonna share things, so I'll go ahead and share. Um, I don't use like some expensive kibble. I don't believe in kibble. Unless you're talking about kibble like Canafor or kibble that like this company will tell you exactly that they only cook it for a certain amount of time and let it kind of dry out. Um, this kibble, look at it, it's cooked to a fricassee. It's it burnt car like burnt cardboard pieces. You know about the kibble and you want to explain. I'm just saying. Give me some. Let's ball some chicken up. Let's do this and that, and then just turn it into some little cocoa pebbles. I don't know what you even want to call them, but it's burnt to a fricassee. So I really don't trust the kibble company, but at the same time, dogs got to eat. So guess what? And I have my own stuff. I use Grandma Lucy's. We're just talking right now. I use a product called Wellness Brew. Um, it has electrolytes, and I don't keep them as heavy. That's right. Hey, I like that idea, Rabbit Man, about what he was talking about to keep dogs cool in the summertime. Um, but yeah, I use Grandma Lucy's. Uh, as you guys probably know, at the beginning of the Beer and Bulldog show, yes, I use some Vertex. I use a few other things. From time to time, I change up stuff. As far as like certain organs, I've decided to use the dehydrated ones, and I will put it in the dog's food. But I'm not a guy who continuously hits dogs off hard. I like to give it to them maybe 2, 3 times a week, spread it out. I'm not like every Monday, every Wednesday. I do my thing, man. I do my thing. A little different. Hey, everybody's gonna be everybody. Dogs look good. I've never people come back there. Maybe one of these weekends we'll just go out there. But yeah, everybody says, "Hey, man, these dogs are excellent." Uh, Maybe I'll pull one out and show you. Some of y'all have been asking, what does it really look like? If you ain't never seen what it look like, I'll show you. I'll show you one. I'll show you. I ain't gonna show you nothing like that. Come on, we're in 2026, but I'll show you one that's got everything about itself. Um, I'm lucky. It's like a jungle behind my house. I'm out in the country, plenty of shade, and dogs don't drink a lot, but I still change water regularly because water gets hot. And that's, hey, you know what? For my just regular advice, I would definitely say that. You know, when you get home from work, your dog, I don't know how many times you change your water, but change your water daily. At least once a day, change it. And, maybe even twice a day. If you got the time, do it 3 times a day. Change it. Give them some cold water. Keep a dog cool. But I like these answers we're getting here, and I'm glad you guys are in here consulting. Uh, Blood. They got a hoe selling flying carpet for 1,500. Got to weigh under 200. You get yeah, hey. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I've been feeding Purina over 30 years. Feed some chicken. Hey, Tony Wade. Tony Wade. You know what's up, man. You know, don't start going. I mean, I'm telling you guys, unless you got the rich money, then you might as well go to whatever. I forget. I see it online all the time. It's like and they feed it to their little dog, and they're like, they get it in the mail, and they put it in there, and it's got real carrots, real chicken. It's got real everything. You know what I mean? I'll be looking at it like, what? Is it real? But like I said, man, feed what you want to feed, but you know what I'm saying? If you just buy an expensive kibble, I'm not sure if I necessarily believe in that. But like again, how are we keeping these dogs cool in the winter time? Like I said, some people saying they got good shade out there, they got trees. Don't cut them trees down if you got good shade out there, please. Mike Dan, I'm a pro plan man too, along with other stuff. That's right. That's right. Got your Cali about to ride that thing by you. Uh, Mike Dan, yeah, yeah. Cut back on the products with B12. As Rabbit Man said, you know what I'm saying? Certain products are going to make your dog hot. So you might want to cut down on products like that. And if you are using certain products, maybe not use them every day. I push that. You know what I'm saying? To not just every single day keep it. Break it. You know, few days of this. Some days I put this. But anyways, like fresh, clean water, as they was saying. T-Way got some great looking bull terriers too. Okay. Ice cubes. Maybe you can't. You maybe I don't know how your situation is. Maybe you could get a bag of ice and you got it in a little freezer of some sort, and you can just go out there and shake a little ice, knock some in their bowl, so their water gets cool again. You know what I'm saying? I've heard of frozen buckets. I've heard of some frozen buckets. I've never had frozen buckets, but I've heard of frozen water buckets. Um, Putting it out during the summer. I've never had some type of frozen bucket of some sort. I don't know what that is, but maybe you could freeze a bucket with water in it. I don't know. But these are things that I've heard. Hey, I got to look into Moses. Okay. All right. Small containers, less water, and easier to change out. Okay. Maybe getting some smaller buckets and make them quick and easy. Maybe have a few of them. I don't know. But these are just good ideas that we're all sharing with each other on how to keep dogs cool. Like I said, people talked about putting fans in dog houses and dog kennels and all types of things. And if you're out there conditioning your dog, possibly maybe the morning or evening times. Um, uh, Shoot, uh, watermelon. You know, some people are adding, to make sure that their dog stays cool and has enough electrolytes and hydrated. Let's talk about hydration. You know what I mean? Watermelon, cucumbers, fresh chicken, grass fed, free range lamb ratios are key. That's what we was talking about, ratios and things like that. And different days of putting things out. I put ice cubes in their water, Ballin says. I also give them those skinny rectangular ice pops you get as liquid and have to freeze. Fresh melons or smoothies do wonders too. Woo, these dogs, man, you better get. Like, oh, is that dog smoothie? Yeah, Calypso, take it out to the yard and give it to him. I love a smoothie, man. Uh, yep. I only one bull terrier Ozark other than. Okay, hot days. I give. Kelly Ozark says, hot days. I give my two dogs frozen carrots. Put them in the freezer for like an hour or two. I like. Hey, see, what's what we're saying, man? Frozen blueberries, strawberries, carrots, pumpkin. Any frozen treats you guys got? I've heard people freezing Kongs. Frozen Kongs. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, bone broth, kefir, just freezing it. They get dog all types of stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Goat's milk. Goat's milk. Okay. I use those satin balls in the winter at Mike Dan. Okay. Oh, musician. I use the old milk gallons and freeze water on my outdoor freezer and drive one on each dog. Okay. Oh, I think you meant yeah. If is going to be that hot. Yeah, yeah. Put them out and let them thaw out and give them cold water. Yeah, if you think it's gonna be that hot out, you know what I mean. Um, Oatmeal. What did he say? Young fan. Yep. Oatmeal. Interesting. All right, y'all. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why I asked, you know what I mean? We just wanted to share a few things today. Um, do you guys wet your kibble? You know, maybe you pour a little cold water in the dog's kibble, wet their kibble, keep them hydrated. It's summer. What do you guys think about that? Wetting your kibble? Uh, Maybe you say, hey man, you know, I feed them once a day. I think somebody said cut back on food. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Work them out evening or morning so that they're not working out in the heat, like I said. My wife, okay, so my wife, she'll run the, I just thought about this one. My wife, she'll run the sprinklers so that it kind of comes by the dogs, but it like, I don't know how it is, but like in the air, it like cools the air. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I remember that, and it always reminds me every time she does that. Reminds me when I was young, when my uncle used to do. I used to like wet the trees out there, and I was like, I'd have feel from him doing that when it was a hot day, living in Vegas. So you know, maybe even a mist system. I don't know. Maybe got some type of mist system somewhere that's misting down on dogs. Good ideas, you know. Oh, that is a great idea. Balling, yes sir, Mike. Damn, people gotta think. Shit, when it's hot for yourself, you drink some ice cold, and you right back working in the heat. Same with them. That's right. I like those misting systems. Yes. See, I like that idea, Mike. Dan. Um, and like I said, my wife sometimes will run the sprinklers. If you guys, this is for those who, you know what I mean? You got to think, you know, be conventional, just like he said, you know what I'm saying? Think like a human. So if you got to, you know what I'm saying? But maybe let the sprinklers spray off, but maybe it's like kind of close and misting your dogs without like wet soaking up their whole area. But you know, you could do things, you know what I'm saying? Just thoughts. Um, Somebody said, I don't do wet. Hey, to each his own, my brother. That's what this show is about. We all share opinions respectfully. You know, it gives other people a chance to have ideas, soak some game up from some other people. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. Um, oh, MK Knitfit, what up, man? Salute. Mike Dan. I'm going to make sure I salute everybody up in here. Uh, YNG fam, K9s, what's up, man? Salute. Um, you know, we were talking about some things earlier. Um, you know, about curves and and if some people consider a dog that just reaches its physical limit, it just actually can't go no more. There's possibly the dog's maybe straight dead gang. Some people consider, like I said, some people said that about Snooty. I just didn't want to give too many things that I say to lean into like my opinion, because this is a show where we all are interacting right here from the chat. I don't want people thinking like I'm coming here and I'm going to tell you exactly how this is. You know, we're not going to do that. That's not this show. You know what I'm saying? And you know a few of those guys, and that's all right. You know, that's all right. That's what their show is about. I respect all dogmen, and this is where we share conversations, opinions, respectfully, and we get different ideas. We get to hear what people think. You know what I'm saying? You you, you know, you know. I don't do wet. Timers also MD. I like them. After all the research, the best thing to do is get one that don't do nothing but lick and breed or bred and breed it to one that bite. Badass dogs. Mm-hmm. Die by you. Salute, brother. Salute. Um, well, guys, I just want to thank everybody for spending your Saturday morning with me. I appreciate every last one of you. The greatest part about this show is the chat, you guys. And, you know, so I just want to say take care of your dogs, take care of your family, love God, and till next Saturday, you guys have a good one. We'll see you here on Brew N Bulldogs. I appreciate you guys being here. Yes, I love you guys. Is there anything that I wanted to say? Yeah, man. Yeah. Take care of your dogs. Take care of your family. Until next time, from Beer and Bulldogs, we out.